let's speak about what it really means to develop self-love. And if you're someone that's starting this self-love journey, this journey to really, really love yourself, then congratulations. I mean, it's such a beautiful thing, and it really goes against the very fabric of this society. For this society is built, it is geared. What keeps it going is that it has conditioned so many of us to hate ourselves. So if you have started this journey of self-love, if you recognize the importance of developing self-love, then blessings upon blessings to you. For, like I just said, this society is built on making us not love ourselves from the earliest of ages all the way up into adulthood. And just like the more common examples, women are conditioned to not feel pretty unless they look a certain way, have certain clothes on. Men are conditioned to not feel beautiful in their own way unless they look a certain way and act a certain way. And this just goes on and on across the culture. And so many, when they begin to realize this, they go to spirituality. They enter spirituality to begin to heal that deep-seated conditioning. But unfortunately, even in the spirituality, there are other traps I've seen so many times, especially while I was in metaphysical shops and working. And it is the trap of denying our basic humanity. You see, we cannot fully develop self-love by denying any part of ourselves. And the most fundamental part, just our base operating system, is that we are human, first and foremost. But what I have seen over and over and over again in metaphysical circles and just the spiritual movement in general is people denying their basic humanity to make themselves feel and seem more important or more accepted by the wider spiritual community by adding labels and ideas upon themselves, such as channel, psychic, starseed, enlightened, mystic. I mean, this list just goes on and on and on. That people are no longer just human, they're starseeds. They're no longer just humans, they're a psychic channel that can access the angelic realm, the Pleiadian realm, the starseed council. I mean, the list just goes and goes and goes. We are no longer just human, we are this. We are no longer just human, we are that. We enter the spiritual circle and we realize we are conditioned. We are also faced with this idea that, oh my God, just as I am now, I'm also not good enough here. I must be a tarot reader, I must be a Reiki master, I must be an energy this, an energy that, a spiritual this, I must be a light worker, a shadow worker, an energy healer, an aura reader. I mean, there's so many, and I see this again and again. While I was working in a metaphysical bookshop, for example, one of the co-workers told another one, and I heard this and it really struck me. She told her, so what are you going to do now? When are you going to become a reader? And I just felt that tightness in that space, that it's no longer good enough just to be in that space as you are. Now you must be something else to prove your worth to the community. And that is just sad to me, that people enter the spirituality to heal, to really ground themselves in reality of who and what they are. Yet even there, it is so easy to fall into other traps. In the wider community of society, we are taught to look a certain way and act a certain way. And then we enter spirituality and we are told to look a certain way and act a certain way and be a certain way. So it just gets more convoluted. We must recognize that all of that is not necessary, for we are first and foremost human, and being human is one of the most beautiful things. I mean, we look at all the great spiritual masters, all the great pillars, the great traditions in the world, from Moses to Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha. The more modern spiritual masters like Sri Ramana Maharshi, Srila Sargadatta Maharaj, are Saint Francis of Assisi, the Mother Teresa's, they were first and foremost human. They came in a human body, in a human vessel. And they showed us that we can carry the most brilliant of light. We can be pillars of divine light within a human vehicle. So many traditions in the world, Buddhism, for example, and I believe some forms of Hinduism, teach that the human birth is the most precious birth you can have, even more than being born in the divine realm. For it is the human that is capable of recognizing the divinity that is present here. The human birth is such a miracle, such a perfection thing. And it is okay to feel that you have star ancestries, or you have psychic abilities, or extrasensory abilities. That is beautiful, but that cannot replace the base nature of who and what we are. We did not come down as extraterrestrials or angelic beings in that sense. We incarnated as humans for this lifetime. So we must recognize that if we are here in a human form, then the human is something beautiful, because we could have been anywhere else. We could have brought ourselves to a more, or not a more, but we could have incarnated in a star system somewhere else and have been that, but we didn't. Here is where we are. Human beings with all the perceived human flaws that we have, but it is in that is beautiful. To be and to discover this journey of self-love, even within the spiritual circle, we must recognize, honor, and come to love our humanness without trying to replace it with anotherness, a metaphysicalness, something more esoteric sounding or special, because we have been trained to feel that the human is not special, that the human is boring, is flat, is not necessary, it's just a mistake. That is not the case. It is a beautiful existence to be human and to be in a human form. So self-love is more than just giving yourself a nice bath, buying yourself flowers or chocolates, very beautiful things. But it starts from accepting that despite everything, I am human. And that is beautiful. More than that, it is divine, it is miraculous. When we can accept that we are human, and that is okay, that is brilliant, that is beautiful, everything else becomes so much lighter. We don't have to try to fit ourselves in any other types of boxes. We can be an energy worker and beautiful. We can be a human energy worker. We can share where we are in the path without trying to put ourselves on a different pedestal, trying to be more enlightened, trying to fit this idea that we must be a certain way. No, we can just be who we are and go from there. It is necessary to accept where we are. And first and foremost, where we are is in the human form, expressing the human experience, a beautiful and divine thing that is. So let us start our self-love journey by recognizing that we are just human, and understanding and feeling that just human is beautiful, divine, and precious.